Good evening, students, and welcome to Mr. H's Garage. It is time to review the concept of natural selection, which we covered before the break. And so here we go. This is in preparation for your lab, of course. We'll tell the story of the peppered moth. In the 1800s, there was a moth called the peppered moth, and it came in two varieties, dark and light. You see by the picture here. And so, step one in uh, natural selection is reproduction, meaning you have lots and lots of babies, more than can survive, more offspring than can survive. And there may be variations in these organisms, all right, such as different colors. You see the light and the dark. And those variations may make one more suited for survival than the other. Well, for example, prior to the Industrial Revolution in England, the light colored moths were the most common because they were able to camouflage themselves in the light colored bark of the trees. The bark of the trees was covered in lichen, which is a cohabitation of a fungus and algae that produced a white covering for the trees. And so the light colored moths were able to survive and reproduce, whereas the dark colored moths were easier to pick off by the birds and so became the less dominant variety. Well, as the Industrial Revolution took hold, the factories ejected soot from their smokestacks and covered the trees. And over a period of 45 years or so, as the trees got darker, well, a switch occurred. Guess which ones became more prominent? That's right, the dark moths began to survive. So during the stage of competition, all right, we see that varieties will compete with each other for survival, all right? And there may occur a process called selection where the one with the traits more suited to the environment, in this case, the dark colored moths, all right, is selected, so to speak, to survive, while the other poor fella tends to die off or maybe even move to a different area. That is the process of natural selection. You have reproduction, that is, more offspring than can be supported by the environment. And these offspring have variations. And the variations are in competition. And if one of those variations is more suited to the particular environment, well, the natural selection can occur and favor one variety over the other. There you go. All right. And long term, if that particular trait becomes repetitive generation after generation, well, then we call it, see if you remember this word, an adaptation. All right. That is, it became adapted, so to speak, to that environment. So there you go. I think that covers most of the terms we learned before the break. So hope this helps you get ready for your lab. Good luck. And I will see you soon.